panic. Oh my God, we are live. I'm just kidding.
See that lacrosse stick?
Oh,
About to beat you with.
bro, that lacrosse stick. That stick is a stick that was found somewhere at Maryland's campus. It was like hiding in the equipment room, like where we had a equipment manager who was very stingy with his equipment disbursement. That thing was hiding back there. And he was like, honestly, everybody else is too afraid to use this. So, but if there's one guy that I know that would be dumb enough and crazy enough to use it, it would be you. Would you like it? And I was like, fuck yes. That's like a legit wooden stick.
Love it.
Heavy as can be.
Mm-hmm.
Terrified teammates when I came out with that. They were like, no, no, put that down now. And I don't blame them. It's scary to look at.
Yeah. I wouldn't want you coming after me with that.
No, I would never. I'm too nice. Just not with like a helmet on. Just don't put a helmet on me. Lynlea, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I love it.
Oh my God. No, I appreciate you coming on. So for the audience, this is Lynlea Westervelt. Should I say vice president or senior vice president at First Time Mortgage?
That sounds great. I wish that was my title.
Wow. Either way, top producer there. Do I have the Scotsman's Guide top woman originator of 2024 on the podcast with?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
I do have a nice lady lip right now.
Not the top, but I ranked up there, which is amazing.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. Well, give me the Lynlea Westervelt story. One of the things we like to do on the podcast before we get into all the deal making stuff with people is get to learn how they got where they're at. And I love a good origin story. I really do. It's kind of my thing. So where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Columbia, Howard County. Born and raised, lived there my whole life. Graduated from Wild Lake High School.
Okay, what's up, Wild Lake?
Yeah.
All right.
The Go Wildcats. You know how Columbia is, they redistrict. So I'm one of four, and we went to 3 different high schools.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So.
That's pretty brutal. 4 girls?
4 girls.
Oh, okay. All right. What was life like that?
Fun. My sisters to this day are my best friends. I absolutely adore them.
Yeah.
We talk. There's not a day that goes by that I don't speak with them. So very, very close.
Wow.
My whole family is really close.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Is your family all from here?
They're all, born and raised in Howard County. My parents are still there. And some of us have moved to Anne Arundel County area.
Okay.
And my younger sister's in Catonsville. So we're all still local.
What do your parents do?
My dad was a realtor. That's actually how I got into the business.
No kidding.
Yep.
Okay.
And my mom worked for a title company for a long time. So we've kind of dabbled in all the different fields of the industry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do your sisters do stuff?
My oldest sister worked with my dad. My dad's now retired. And my oldest sister is still in real estate. And then I have 2 older sisters. So the second oldest is a stay-at-home mom now. And my youngest sister runs her own business. She's a barber.
Yeah. Nice. Damn. It's an entrepreneur family.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like for Dad having 4 girls?
I don't think he would change for the world at this point, but I said, we're all very close. I mean, a lot growing up, right? But he raised us. None of us are very girly girls. We fought. There was doors ripped off of hinges between my sisters and I can't lie. They were, just wild girls. We all played sports, multiple sports. 3 of us played in college. So just girls, but tough and very, not that girls aren't tough because I'm the biggest. Oh
my God. Girls are the toughest job in the world.
Yeah. So I don't know. I loved it. We're all tough as nails. And I feel like that's a big part of like my upbringing and just being so close to them still.
Yeah. Were you guys all, you mentioned athletes. Were you guys all athletes in the same sport? Do you guys excel at different stuff?
Soccer and lacrosse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you were lacrosse.
I played lacrosse in college.
All right.
Growing up, soccer, like very heavy into soccer, and
Okay.
then kind of switched going into.
What'd you like about soccer?
I don't know. It just felt very natural. Like it was just one of those games that we always were playing. We played in the backyard. We played with the coach at Oakland Mills High School.
Okay.
We played with him a lot during high school. We would just go over there and just play with all the boys.
I feel like it's a game that requires a lot of patience in order to reach the goal, literally, I guess.
Not a ton of scoring.
Not a ton of scoring. And that's what always did it for me. But as I've gotten older, I recognize the beauty of the game. It's still not as exciting as other sports for me. Like, I love football, American football.
Mm-hmm.
I love lacrosse, even basketball, love it. But soccer, I get into once every 4 years. It's World Cup season, baby. And all of a sudden I know every guy that's on the team, his whole stat pattern, everything. It's, but soccer is it as small a world as it is in lacrosse?
Not as small, I don't think. Soccer is a bigger sport.
Yeah. What drew you to lacrosse?
So I had played soccer my whole life and I had so much fun with it, but it was very serious. And then I started playing lacrosse and I joined, a travel team when I was in high school, and it was like, hey, come to this tournament if you can make it this weekend. It was like, hey, sign up for the ones you want to go to. And it just felt like it was new to me, more, and just more exciting. And I got to meet new people and I just saw the opportunity there and I just started. It was just very new and exciting and fun.
Yeah.
Where like soccer had been so serious for so long and it wasn't as fun to me anymore. So I still loved the game. I just think I was ready for a change.
Yeah.
And lacrosse came pretty naturally. And I just loved it.
Would you say that, damn it, I just lost my train of thought.
That's okay.
Son of a bee.
We have a rewind for that.
We do have a rewind button for that. Damn it. I was going to ask you a follow-up question on that. Shit. That's killing me now. Now it's all I'm going to think about for the next 10 minutes until I figure out this fucking thing I was going to ask you. Anyways, lacrosse is such a small world. Did you find it like, where were most of your teammates from in college? Were they?
Well, I played at James Madison, so Maryland, DC, Virginia, PA areas, pretty much.
What was life like at James Madison?
Fun.
Yeah.
I had a great team.
Okay.
Kind of carrying over from like, having 3 sisters at home. I feel like I went to college and I had 30. Like my teammates were really, really close. To this day, they're some of my best friends. I was in a handful of their weddings. They were in mine. It was a really close knit team.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was awesome.
That's pretty cool. You've got like, I don't know. I remember going to college and being like, this is exactly where I wanted to go. This is exactly what I wanted to do and where I wanted to be. And the second that I stepped on campus and I saw the people that I was going to be playing with, I was like, oh, shit, these are the guys I was watching on TV. Oh my God. And I had like mini panic attack, like, oh my God, imposter syndrome. I don't belong here.
I mean, and especially when you're a freshman, they're bigger, stronger, faster, and better than you, like it's all the things. And then you have to work your ass off to get there.
1,000%.
But the freshmen come a long way. And then one day, they're your seniors and you see them kicking ass and you're like, wow, I used to do that. I went to a game like this past spring to see them play. And I was like blown away. I just felt like they looked stronger, bigger, better than I looked at the game and I was like, I wasn't that good.
I know. It's amazing. Like I watched the guys play now and I'm like, oh my God. Like, I don't know I feel like if we were playing at the same time, we would have adapted to the changes and skill sets and all that stuff. But it's so impressive to watch the guys and gals playing now and how athletic they are and how skilled they are. And it's the club scene in general is, I think, a big reason for that, and that's a positive for the club scene because they are so smart. These kids,
yeah,
it's
I
ridiculous.
feel like after college I've been kind of checked out from the game. I haven't been playing, and I don't have kids that are playing yet. So
they're running these like
mm-hmm.
7th grade teams like it's college. It's incredible to watch. At the same time, it will burn out the kids, similar to your soccer experience. Like, dude, you start travel teams at like 7 or 8. By the time you're 13, 14, and you've been nothing but this year round, it's going to be a chore, not something that you look forward to unless you're, psycho competitive, which some kids are, but not all.
Right.
So I don't know, man. I don't know how the club scene got as huge as it is in the lacrosse space, but I'm always amazed at how unfun some people can make it. This is a great game, man. It's a great game.
Should be fun.
It should be fun. What was campus life like at JMU? Were you encouraged to, I find that every school is different. And the further south you go, the more it gets encouraged to be part of sorority life and all that.
We didn't know. None of our teammates were on sororities. It was too much. Like juggling school and a D1 sport is a lot.
Yeah.
There was no time for that.
No. That's how it was at Maryland. Like we did not have, like our fraternity was the team. It was.
Yeah. Right. Like we would go to our parties were the baseball team parties.
Right.
Right. Soccer team parties. It wasn't, we'd go to a frat party here and there, but not as much as we would have if we weren't playing, I'm sure.
Yeah. I have younger brothers that go, I'm the oldest of 5. So I have younger brothers that went to school down south and they're like, oh yeah, instantly. Like you have to rush certain time. Like it's sorority and frat life is like everything. I'm like, I just don't understand that because I never had to. I was lucky. I had my own built-in fraternity.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it felt.
Yeah. Well, it's a cool feeling. Were you craving the independence from being at home or because are you third in line for the sisters? So you probably had a heads up on what college life is going to be.
Oh, totally. Like. I mean, 2 of them were at college when I went.
Oh, so you guys are pretty close in age.
Yeah, pretty close. Yeah. One of them had graduated, but recently. So I saw her through that.
Okay.
She loved it. We all loved our colleges. So
what'd you study in college?
Actually, health science, which has nothing to do with what I'm doing now, but I picked what I was interested into at the time.
What are the majors at JMU that people sign up for that just want to get a degree? Like at Maryland, there was a couple. It was like, all right, if somebody's a criminology major, they're just looking for that degree.
We didn't have that, I don't think.
It's a great crim school.
Don't get me wrong. Did kinesiology.
Yeah, a lot of that. Mm-hmm. Kines is wild. We had a couple of guys get real into it. They ended up playing pro sports though, so I guess it worked out.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think it's important just to kind of pick what you're interested into at the time, and if you're not really sure what you're going to do when you grow up, you figure it out. And most people take their first job, and it's not going to be their forever, career path. So,
did you have a job coming out of college?
No, I took the summer off because I was like, you know what? I've been working my ass off playing lacrosse for the last 4 years, around the clock. Like summers were training or taking more classes so I could graduate on time. Yeah. That was a requirement in my family. And then, so I graduated and I was like, I need to party and like hang out and like have fun and figure my stuff out before I just like jump into a job.
Yeah.
So I worked in Ocean City and lived in Ocean City and like basically a real world house for the summer.
Where did you work?
I worked on the golf course. I was the beverage cart girl. It was a blast.
That's gotta be awesome.
It was a blast. You just flirt with golfers.
I was going to say, dude, that has gotta be incredible, especially in Ocean City during the summertime. It's just a bunch of horny old guys.
Super easy. Like,
just easy. Yes. All right. Take my money.
Just mess with them and be like, I'll take your shot and, give them some drinks and then you're walking away with $100 bill. So it was nice. It was fun.
What'd you do after that?
So I thought I did the health science major. So I thought I knew I wanted to do something in sales, something with people, helping people. So I went to work with one of my girlfriends because she was doing, medical sales.
Okay.
And I was like,
yeah.
that sounds like a great job. I have the background. That's what I always thought I wanted to do.
A lot of athletes get into medical sales after. Yeah.
And I realized I just didn't have the stomach for it.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do this. I don't like being in the hospital. I can't do it. So from there, my dad, like I said earlier, my dad was a realtor.
Right.
And I remember going to work with my dad a handful of times, and I saw, kind of how it was run, and I would go in there and I would, just hang out with him for the day whenever, I was younger. And I remember I always saw the guy that was in the office that was helping all the realtors with, their contracts and with the money and the clients, with helping them to figure out what their financing was going to take. And that person for my dad, I always thought was interesting. I was like, I was always kind of drawn to it because he was the one, he would like take our family out on his boat and, buy me a drumstick when I was 10 years old. And I thought that guy was cool.
That guy's awesome.
So I was like, what is that? That guy's job sounds pretty cool. That was like when I was really little, what I saw. And then kind of getting out of college, I was like, oh, that job actually is really interesting to me. So my dad got me an interview and then I got started. So that's kind of how I decided what I was going to do. And then I got started into it and I actually liked it, Have
you always been a numbers person?
Not necessarily. Haven't been the best, but I've always really liked it. Once it clicks, I love it.
Yeah. I've always had I've been good with numbers to a degree. And when it comes to like basic math, pretty good. But accounting and everything that goes into finance, I've told this on the podcast a few times. I don't know how I passed those classes. They were the worst classes in school for me. Far and away. Finance and accounting. Oh, God. There was not enough crosswords in the day for me to do. I couldn't pay attention. Couldn't pay attention at all. I was just crosswording that Diamondback newspaper all class long.
Yep.
Bored.
I think if you learn the basic skill sets with like people and how to sell and how to talk to people and figure out, where their pain points are and try to go from there, you can learn the industries, the in and outs, right?
True.
So like you have to be interested in it to some degree, but learning that, I feel like the sales thing is more like what needs to be more innate.
Yes, I agree. Because like what you guys do is not, you're that connector helping people get something, be able to get the funding for something that they want. It's beyond just, can we move this number here and this and plug in the data. Like you're more than a mortgage calculator. You can actually like talk through reasoning
and like strategizing with people, right? Yes. Like someone calls you and
what's a long-term plan? What's your short-term plan? What are we like? What are your actual goals? Because I can sit here and look at all your stuff and tell you what you can do, but my job is more than just that. It's to tell you like, okay, this is what you can do, but what do you want to do? And let's see how we can get there. Yeah,
I always tell my clients like, hey, I can tell you how much you're pre-approved up to, sure, but like you're the one making your mortgage payment at the end of the day. That's not me. So we have to make sure that you're comfortable with all these numbers.
Yeah.
How much is going into this? And like, what's the best strategy for this client?
Yeah.
Because they're coming to you with, the most expensive thing they're ever going to buy is their house. Yeah. Right. So you want to make sure that they feel comfortable and you gotta help them get that house. It's not just about like, hey, here's your payment and here's your numbers, but like, how can we make sure that you get your family into this next house? So it's like, do you have a home that you're selling? How aggressive can we get with this offer? Like how many families are you going to be up against? Right. So how badly do you want it? And like, what are you willing to do? And then that's when I work very hand in hand with my agents and my clients to be like, let's get you this house.
Yeah.
You need to be fully pre-approved. I need all your stuff up front so I can call the agents and say, hey, we can close in 14 or 10 days, whatever we need to make that offer stronger than the one sitting right next to it where it might be the same sales price.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you remember growing up with mom and dad doing these deals and if they would get a win like that and what life was like? Versus...
My dinner conversations like later in life were real estate. That's all we talked about. My dad and my sister would just sit there and go back and forth and we'd all just be like sitting there.
Oh God. Did you see the Joneses put theirs up? So overpriced.
I remember my dad be like personally, offended if somebody didn't use him. Like, we're not friends with them anymore.
We all are. Now, here's the problem. Here's the problem around Annapolis and basically not just Annapolis, but I would say greater Baltimore. You can throw a rock from anywhere and hit somebody with a real estate license. So that's a problem. Now the numbers are dwindling since, things have gotten a little interesting in the market the last year and a half or so. So numbers are dwindling a little bit, but I feel like that's got to be kind of cool to be able to see those conversations as a kid and then grow up to be a part of them and be a big reason why somebody's getting something that they want.
Yeah. And I always looked at it like there's real estate agents and then there's real estate professionals, right? So like the professionals are the ones showing up every day, going to work, grinding, not just, taking a listing whenever it falls into their lap. And for me personally, like I'm pretty disciplined. My whole office, we encourage everybody comes in every single morning and we work full days. So it's not, everyone's working their butts off to reach their goals. And we have a lot of top producers that we work with, so everybody's on it. We know the updated guideline changes. We know what needs to happen. We know how many calls we need to make to get how many deals we need to get, and reach our goals. So, it's definitely a fine line between like, having a license versus like being a true professional.
Yeah. It's the consistency is a big part of it, and staying up to date on the constant changing regulations and all that shit that goes along with what we do. With where the market's at right now, it's been a couple months since I've had a lender on the pod. Where are things at right now in general? And what's overall like consumer sentiment that you're?
As far as the rates go, I feel like people are starting to come around to like, this is kind of the new norm.
Yeah.
It's something funky, something crazy is going to have to happen to see these rates like they were during COVID.
Right.
I don't really think that that's happening. I think that like people are kind of like seeing in the middle now, whereas like, hey, they're not at 8 anymore. Like you can get below 7 at this point, but you're probably not going to get to the 2s and the 3s. Right. So I think that people are coming around to it. And at this point, it's like, if you've waited it out, you've probably missed out on a house that you wanted.
Exactly.
And you're trying to wait for the rates to drop here. So I think people are it's the new norm.
Do you have a niche that you're trying to focus on right now?
I do a lot of veterans.
Okay.
Yeah, I work with a ton of veterans and, do a lot of VA loans, which are great. You always, that's always rewarding to help those folks.
Oh. I had a client meeting this morning and they didn't realize they're trying to move across the country from San Diego to here. They didn't realize that if you're buying a property in Maryland and you're 100% disabled veteran, you might be exempt from property taxes. So they're like, we're a little bit on the fence about coming here. It got a healthy price point, but they're like, oh my gosh, we're saving like, 15 to 20 grand in taxes.
A lot of money.
Are you kidding me? Please.
Real money.
California taxes you to breathe. Mm-hmm. So this is great.
Yeah.
So that's cool, man. That's a great group because they're also very loyal, and it's a great group to get into because they all kind of know each other.
Area,
it's kind of a must in this area with how much we have with the Academy and NSA and all the stuff that we have at the Pentagon and everything else. So no, it makes sense. You have been shifting the last couple of years from focusing on just originating to now like originating and leading and helping lead an office. What's that transition been?
It's 2 full-time jobs. It's a lot. I love it though. I wouldn't change it at all.
Yeah.
It's rewarding to help someone younger or someone new into the business and kind of show them like my playbook. Right. So this isn't a secret. I'm not covering my work. Yeah. Right. I want to share and help everybody. So our whole office is very collaborative.
That's nice.
So if somebody has a win, we're going to share the win. If somebody messed something up, we're going to share that so the next person doesn't mess something up. Right. So it's really rewarding and I love it. And it's very much like a team versus like, hey, I'm on this island by myself, like in the corner, just trying to make calls to get in deals,
for people that are not in the sales world every day and don't understand that, it's very rare to have people that are independent contractors that are all trying to get their own actually work together to help each other get
right.
everything. It's very hard.
And that was a big draw for me to where I work now at First Home. I saw how the culture, and I wanted to be a part of it. I had to be a part of it. I looked at 10 different lending companies when I was ready to leave my old company. And, I wanted to be on the Yankees. I chose that company and the people, it was really just the people there and how it's ran, by the higher ups. And I love it and I wouldn't change it for the world.
Where did you get your start coming out? So you did the Ocean City, Cart Girl, let's get it. And then, and then we go to what?
I joined a big company, National City, and I was there for like 6 months and then it went under. So
National City, what is National City?
Huge mortgage company and bank, okay. Out of the Midwest, and they shut their doors, with all that turmoil during that time, which was long. Yeah, exactly. And so I kind of got in and realized like, hey, this is an absolutely terrible market. But the people that I was working with, I was like, well, they have time to teach me.
Yeah.
They're not slammed. Right. And then I bounced around a little bit after that. And then I spent the bulk of my career at Prosperity, which is Long and Foster's mortgage company. Yep. So, I was in my late 20s and I got this opportunity to go work for Prosperity. And I was like, you know what, if I don't take this opportunity, I'll regret that.
Yeah.
So I went and I worked there for 7 years. It was me and a guy that I'm very close with that I absolutely adore and love. Still to this day, we're very close. And we worked there and we did a ton of deals through COVID. I had 2 pregnancies there. It was great. We both outgrew it. So I wanted to go off on my own. So we kind of parted ways and, that's when I landed at First Home. So I've been here for 3 years now, but yeah, the bulk of my career was spent at Prosperity as like an in-house lender. So I tell people now, like, hey, I did a ton of transactions. Like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of deals. I helped a ton of families. So that's reason to trust me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, with First Home on the professional side of it, so like your internal side, what's the biggest difference working there versus somewhere else?
So being like the difference between like being an in-house lender and an outside lender is, how the companies are set up and run is the mortgage company is owned by the real estate company.
Right.
So, there's a lot of pressure on those agents, although they are independent contractors, to use their in-house company.
Sure.
And to support them in everything that they do as a partner. So you're showing up to events, you're doing open houses, you're doing everything with the agents that work for the company that you work for, basically.
Right.
The biggest difference is you don't have that agent. You don't have like an office that you're walking through with just those core 40 or 50 agents, right? So you are out hustling, getting your own relationships and doing your own business. You're not expected to show up at a real estate office every morning.
Yeah.
So, it's more fun to me because I think that like you meet more people than you're doing business with the people that you are kind of picking in a way, or they're picking you, right? Because they know you, they like you, and then they trust you, right? To give you their business and trust you with their business. So it's more fun. It's kind of like, hey, if there's a realtor in that office that is brand new and they're calling you and kind of expecting you to do their transaction for them, like, I don't really deal with that anymore.
I'm not interested in that. Yeah. Please go away. I mean, I feel like it's a mindset thing too, right? Like if you're, and this is no disrespect because I've had a lot of great relationships over the years with several people that started as in-house lenders somewhere for some brokerage and have gone on to do the exact same thing, like either start their own shop or, go work for a private lender where they have a little more autonomy to do whatever. And there is freedom in that. There is independence. There is, there's a higher risk, higher reward with that. With the in-house stuff, I feel like there is pressure to use them, but it's I don't know. I always feel like if you have a bunch of people coming to you that are incentivized to use you, then it might turn your power down a little bit. You know what I mean? You're not as hungry to go out and get stuff. So like, I can see that sometimes being maybe comfort an enemy of somebody that wants to grow.
Exactly. Yeah. And then, they're tying you to this other real estate company because they're like, oh, here's my business card. You work for Prosperity. Like your loyalties are going to lie with them. You're going to answer that agent's phone call before you answer mine kind of thing. Those are just some of the rebuttals, but you would find outside people and still do outside work. But, just overall, it's definitely challenging in a different way. And, they were both challenging because, being an in-house person, like you're expected to get a certain amount of market share.
Sure.
And
if you don't, they're looking at you like, why aren't you?
Yeah. They're like, you're out of here.
Yeah.
You're not good enough. So it's a lot of pressure, but we had fun. But again, the guy that I worked with, we had a great relationship and we crushed it. We did really well.
Nice.
It was a good, like, yin and yang kind of relationship. So the agents knew, like, you can call her or him. And
do you like being a partner?
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you do it again?
Yeah.
With somebody else?
I mean, I feel like I have that now in a different way. Like, not working on the same account with anybody, but like having the ability to call anybody that I work with and pick up, just be like, hey, I need X, Y, or Z. Anybody would be willing to help.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to have. Like I said, guys, it's very rare in the sales space.
Yeah. I think a lot of times people feel like they're on their own island when they're in sales.
1,000%. So
it takes a lot of trust and team building and, but it's the work that you put into that is, it's the risk like outweighs the reward totally.
Yeah, I agree. We touched on rates and kind of current state of things right now, just a little bit. I want to get a little bit more specific on kind of how consumers are treating the market. What are you seeing on your side of things? Because we've got now several months worth of incredibly limited inventory, less than a year ago, which was also incredibly light. Somewhere that, most households across the US have a, less than 4% mortgage. So then it's like, all right, well, shit, if there's that many people that aren't going to give it up, what do we do? Because it's just expensive right now to get a mortgage. 90+% of people are getting a mortgage. So you got to get it if you got to move. So what are some things that people are doing in order to get that might be beyond the traditional approach?
Yeah. I mean, I think that at least one of the biggest struggles for anybody that's, has a customer that's under contract to buy a house, let's say, since it's so expensive, most people are like going to the internet and trying to find the best deal possible.
Yeah.
Whereas like, you pay for what you get sometimes, like, right? So if you just go on the internet and try to find a rate and you bring it back to me, it's like, this is just so crazy low. Like it's not, or, it's just not even real. Most of the time they don't ever deliver.
Yeah.
Or you're missing your deadline, whatever else, and your process is just freaking miserable. So it's, it's getting a client and keeping the client.
Yeah.
Because everybody's like, oh, this seems high. We're like, well, it is, but we don't make the rates, it's like we're all getting money from the same place. But with that being said, I mean, we do have, most people are buying down points. So, buying a point's basically paying paying upfront with your closing costs to get a reduced interest rate. So
how much of a reduction could you get?
It's about 1/4 to 3/8 for every point that you buy. Let's say, you're buying, you get a loan for $500,000. 1 point would be $5,000 at closing. And you're taking your rate from, let's say it's a 7% down to a 6.5 or 6.6.
Interesting. What's the max you could buy down?
Around 2.
Okay.
like 2.5 to some wonky rules in there with like it being a qualified mortgage. So.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So doing that, we also have like a 2-1 buy down where if you get some seller contribution, you can buy it down from like, let's say it's at 6, you can buy it, you can get 4% for the first year, 5% for the second year.
Okay. That's cool.
So there's definitely some cool, like creative stuff out there that we have. And then there was a big push for like affordable housing from the agencies. So if you fall, your qualifying income, if that falls between a certain parameters, you actually get like a reduction in your mortgage insurance and in your rate. So we used that a ton because, again, I said qualifying income. So even if it was a couple buying a house together, if we could qualify them on just one, and you can keep the spouse on, but it's basically like just a reduction in the cost of the whole loan. So
with the landscape right now and knowing all that, what offers do you see winning for your buyers? Is it still, because we have like, let me put it to you this way, what I'm seeing on my end might be different than what you're seeing, but on my end it seems very location specific, property specific, and it's not getting 10 offers like it might have a year and a half ago, but it's getting 2 or 3 pretty strong ones, and it's with people that are removing a lot of contingencies, if not all. Mm-hmm. But that's for like a grade A premier situation. There are others that are like, let's call them a B plus situation. And those, I feel like people can negotiate and get, inspections done and get an appraisal done and not have much issue. But is that what you're seeing on your end?
It's pretty spread out, right? So it's very dependent on like, hey, how long has this house been on the market? What does the seller need? But I try to do a ton of the work up front. So, if we have a client that I've pre-approved, I'm running them for an appraisal waiver before we're even writing a contract. So we know that.
Yeah.
So that like, hey, if we can remove that contingency, that offer's going to look even better. Yep. I'm making sure I get all of their paperwork, all of their financials up front. So I can say, hey, Shane, write 10 days. We're good. We got it. We can close that. Yep. Just remove as much as you can. It's not always all about the price. Sometimes people are like, hey, I need to close in 20 days. I don't want to wait 60 or whatever.
Because I got to buy that other house. And I told them that I'd have this settled in 3 weeks. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would say it's a very case by case. I'm calling it because I've seen it. I can't patent this term. I like it though. Goldilocks buyers, where it's got to be just right for them to pull the trigger on something, unless they are hell bent on buying. It's not a fantastic market for buyers right now, but it is softening in some pockets and getting a little bit easier to negotiate, which I think is a relief.
Yeah, I think the last couple of years, people that were moving, they needed to move. It wasn't because they were like, oh, our house is kind of too small.
Yeah. I mean, that's still kind of who's moving. It's not that many people. I've had I don't know, half a dozen to a dozen clients push a search off for a year. So they're like,
or they write an offer on a house and they don't get it for whatever reason.
Right.
And then they're just like, well, we don't need to move.
Well,
right? we don't really want to keep looking. Whereas in the past, it's like, hey, I'm going to get pre-approved and then I'm going to go look at these 6 houses and I'm going to pick one of them. Yeah. Now it's like, there's one, so if they're not getting that one, they're just like, well, we'll just wait. We don't need to really go anywhere right now.
That's true. It's so true. We're seeing a lot of that. It's been a wonky like month, honestly, of just behavior that's been kind of unpredictable, I guess. Predictably unpredictable, if that's a phrase I can use.
Yeah, and I also feel like the spring market hit a little bit later this year.
Yes, that's how I feel as well. I felt like the numbers are down across the board, not in value. Value is pretty flat. But the number of houses is down. The days on market is up a touch. It just seems like it's very hit or miss, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like we do kind of follow the tailwinds of the stock market. Stock market seems like it's doing better now than it certainly was 2 months ago. So hopefully that means a month or two from now, we'll be reaping the rewards of that. People feel a little bit more comfortable spending.
Yeah, we've definitely ramped up as far as like pre-approval goes, and
yeah. I've figured. I mean, I've had clients call this past week that, you know, we really weren't planning on doing anything until maybe February or March of next year, and they were like, "Well, we saw something that we might like, and we might expedite the timeline here. We might have an option here where maybe, you know, my parents can stay with us for a little bit here and we can make this work." I mean, there's people getting a little more creative now in some sense, but it all comes down to motivation. So if you're a buyer that's tepid right now, I don't recommend going out into the market. I feel like a lot of the people that are winning are people that have lost like 3 or 4 other times and are sick of losing offers. And so they're like, fuck it. Go 10% over. Tell them they can stay as long as they like after closing. We'll even keep a room for them. It's getting.
Yeah, you gotta lose 1 or 2 to be able to. Yeah. In most cases, people are like, I don't need to be that crazy. And then they lose out, and then they lose out again, and then they're like, okay, well, I got to make it.
You eventually
really
exactly
appealing to this seller to take this off.
Eventually, you got to feel that pain of missing out to the point where you're like, it's like almost a competitive thing, which can be dangerous sometimes because you're like, oh shit, I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm so fucking sick and tired of losing. You know what? We're going all in. We're pushing all the chips in.
Yep.
And if you don't, I've had a couple of people do that and still not get it. And then that's pretty demoralizing. That's the only thing that is really like pause search is hard for me for like months on end is when somebody's like finally reached that, I'll call it generously, the fuck it stage. And they submit something and then doesn't work. And then they're like,
yeah,
kill me.
Yeah. But it's typically however many offers. Yeah. It's one of those houses that there's a lot of offers.
Well, I mean, I always get asked if it's like the first offer somebody wrote and they won it. They're like, oh my God, I feel like this was too easy. Like, I know it seems that way, but trust me, we just saved like 3 months of you guys questioning everything about your life and me and everything. You're getting a great deal in the house. This is where you want it to be. This is why you called me. Let's get it done.
Right.
But, you know, I haven't had many of those this year, but every now and again there is one that is like that. It's like, oh my God, that feels
too easy.
That was too easy. I don't know what's happening here. I feel like I'm so used to being run through the ringer that having a normal deal seems foreign. What about I want to talk about how you manage all this stuff because I'm always like fascinated with top producers and how they can be excellent at what they do and still show up at home, show up, you know, in the community and do all this stuff. It's fucking hard being an adult, man. It's so hard. And so I'm always like, oh my God, when I see somebody doing it really well, what's the secret? What are you doing? I'm probably not going to implement it, but maybe somebody else will. It'd be great to know.
I think just all around, I'm high energy. But with that being said, I'm pretty organized and a lot of systems. Okay. So, you know, when I have a deal, it's pretty much the same things, right? Like I'm doing the same thing on each one. Organized as crap, keeping it all together. And then just like having fun with it. I've been doing this a long time. So I feel like my job, I know what works and I know what doesn't work. So I'm not wasting time trying to figure that out anymore.
How long have you been doing it?
This was my first job out of college. I'm not going to date
myself. Don't date yourself. Don't date yourself. We're going to say it's been a few years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
But I agree. It takes like for me.
Like I'm confident, right? So like looking at my younger self, I would have been like, just it's going to take time to learn this business, right? But now I know what I'm doing, and I can speak to somebody buying a $6 million home, or I can speak to somebody buying their first home for $200,000, right? And I know how to help them, and I know how to navigate the process with a lot of confidence. Because again, I've done a ton of transactions, and I know what goes into this, and I know what needs to happen. So for me, just like making sure I'm making the most out of my time.
Yeah.
So I know that I can make my phone calls while I'm driving, right? I can get into the office and knock out what I need to do and then be on my way to my next thing, right?
That is efficiency
So
I do not have. I am impressed.
Thanks.
Because I feel like I'm on the phone all the time, and then when I get in the car, I'm like, I just want quiet. Or if I get home, I just want quiet. I never get it, but
Yeah. I also have a good support system at home.
That's huge.
At work. I have really good people in my life. I'm very blessed.
That's huge.
So I think it's important to make sure that your support is what you need your support to be, you know, and it's a two-way street. So you have to make sure that, the people that are on my team at work are happy and that they're doing what I need them to do, but I'm also doing what they need me to be doing.
Yeah.
And same with at home, right? Yeah. 3 little kids, same as you, you need help and you need that person to be happy. And then you need to make sure that they're fulfilling what you need and what your kids need. So that's a 3-way street over there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you just never get a chance to turn off, I guess.
Yeah. It's a lot, but
it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot, but it's fun. Keeps you going.
I hope so, because it sounds exhausting. It really does. I'm getting ready to take a nap just listening to it. Holy shit. I mean, talk about the home team for a little bit. What are the kids like? What's your husband do?
Husband's great. He runs his own consumer product business. He has a laundry detergent company for your synthetic fabrics.
What?
So yeah, your gear. He was a lacrosse player too.
Yeah.
So he was playing after college and realized that there was a problem with cleaning turf, and that from there it kind of spiraled into this laundry detergent business. So your stinky clothes, your kids' soccer shin guards, their socks, your nice Lululemon shorts that you wear to the gym that get sweaty that you need to get the funk out of. So it's a pretty cool business. It's called Hex Performance. So he's busy with that. It can be stressful at times. Yeah, for sure.
So you have to travel a lot for it?
He used to.
Yeah.
Prior to COVID, he was always gone.
I got to do sales shows and trade shows and all
a bunch. It's a lot of stuff. So yeah, but he's a lot of his stuff went virtual now that everyone realized that you can operate life like that.
Yeah.
So it's not as client forward facing as much as it was.
Yeah.
And then 3 littles. I got 6, 5, and 3. No, I'm done. Mm-hmm.
Oh, we are done. We are done. It feels so good to be done. Well, those are good ages. I mean, that's where mine are at right now, about the same. And it's exciting when they're behaved.
They're busy. But I feel like just the older ones being able to get their own cup of water, whatever it is, just every little milestone feels big.
What a convenience it is when they can start doing shit for themselves. It is so nice. Oh my gosh. It's also a little scary because it's oh my God, they're actually growing up. It's what I want, but at the same time, it's actually happening, and it's kind of...
Yeah, so juggling it all is a lot, as you know.
That's tough, man. That's tough.
Fun.
Talk to me about your first deal. Do you remember it well?
My first deal, yes.
Usually people remember that.
My first deal I lost. I didn't close my first deal, so I don't know if that's my deal, but I remember I had been going after a referral source, somebody that I connected with, and I got a deal and I got the client in, and the house underappraised. Yeah, and so that's what the appraised that it was what it was at that at that time. And so I had to get they had to get a new appraisal. So I lost my first deal. It was devastating. I remember crying, which I don't remember the last time I've cried because of work, but I remember, one of the first ones I did was actually somebody that used the Maryland mortgage program to buy their first house. And it felt awesome because I was able to get them all this free money from the state. And it just felt so good. I felt like I had hit a home run. I remember going to the closing with I think I got him a cutting board, or it was a bottle of champagne or something.
Yeah.
And I would just remember being really young, helping somebody that was a little bit older than me at the time. And being oh my gosh, I got you all this free money. It just felt like fireworks. It was awesome. And I loved it. And ever since that moment, I remember just being I have to keep doing this.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually funny. I was working a open house with one of my referral sources, and he sent me a picture of me like the other day from back when I was like 21 or 22, starting in the industry, like sitting at the open house. I was like, how do you even have this picture? We don't even have iPhones back then. So,
yeah, the old flip phone camera.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. That's cool. What's a deal you won't ever forget?
Jeez.
For good or for bad? We've all got a couple.
Yeah, they're all nothing's as easy as like it sounds or looks, right? So like there's always something going on. I mean, I've had people go to closing with just one spouse. That happened this week. It's Monday.
So you guys know you do need two if both are on the deed, unless that first person wants to get a quick power of attorney in and start signing.
It's always interesting. There's never a dull moment, I should say, which is what keeps you going. You know, it's fun and it's exciting, and you're helping people, and there's always like a mess, but you know, I like to figure out the solution before going to anybody with a problem. Especially at this point, like, oh, there's a problem. Let me figure it out before I tell anybody there's a problem, because here's the problem, but here are two options for how we're going to get through this.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. That's something that I learned from Matt Nader.
The best
at that. It's like, all right, obviously we're going to get a problem, but let me see if I can come up with a couple of solutions. Let me call you back. Just like immediately go into solving this.
Mode, right?
It's a rare quality, man, but it's cool when it works.
Yeah, that's why it's so important to use your real estate agent. Has to be that professional that we were talking about earlier. Your lender needs to be that professional.
Yeah.
You can't just go online and go to get a rate and then that person ghosts you. You know, it's like you need somebody that's going to help you, because there are so many things, there's so many people involved in the process, that there is something that's going to go south at some point, and you need the problem solvers in your corner.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, where do you kind of see the mortgage landscape or real estate landscape going over the next 6 months or so?
Well, I think it's going to stay a strong market.
Okay. I
really do. We'll see what happens with these rates. I think that a lot of things in the economy has to happen before the rates are really going to drop at all or much more.
Yeah.
This inflation stuff's got to get under control.
It's been interesting. I saw something that Powell, maybe I was listening to Bloomberg radio or something like that, and heard him last week talking about, you know, more people than don't would like to do rate cuts on our committee, but we have to wait for the data to tell us that we can do it. We're not quite there yet, but we're optimistic that we can get a rate cut or two by the end of the year.
Yep.
But can't guarantee anything.
And which, you know, they've been saying it for a while now.
Which sucks. Because I also remember like last year at this time, they're like, we're going to do 5 rate cuts.
Right.
I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Getting all excited, but no.
Me too.
What a tease.
Yeah.
What a tease. What does vacation for you look like?
A cell phone in your hand a lot?
No, fuck no. No cell phones. You're not allowed to. Let's put it that way.
Like, where would I go?
Yeah.
I went to Europe actually this time last year, and that was my first time.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I've never been, so I'm curious.
And I was like, I got to get back here.
It's old as shit, isn't it?
It's awesome. I mean, I went to Monaco, which is like the bougiest place in Europe. I feel like it's one of those places.
Are they getting Hex laundry detergent?
Hope so.
Over there? Let's go.
Come on, Hex. No, but it was awesome, and I was like, I got to get back to Europe. If we can get away, I would love to take my family back there eventually.
Did you take all the kids?
No, I went by myself. I went with one of my friends. Yeah.
Yeah. Girls trip. Very good. That's awesome. What does a mom like you like to do on Saturday morning?
Cook my kids breakfast, because, you know, during the week, it's kind of like everyone's trying to get out the door kind of thing. Hang out with my family, really.
Really?
Yeah. Hang out with them.
Good for you. Where do you go to get coffee?
Rise up.
Rise up. Rise up.
the best.
They are pretty awesome.
I like to support as much local business as I possibly can. Got to keep those shops open in Severna Park.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, don't worry. We're doing a good job of it. What about, if you were to be doing something else, not lending, money was not an object, what do you do?
I think I would want to coach. Yes. Which I can probably do with my job, but just, really pour into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, or maybe even be a school teacher and coach.
What would you
I think
coach?
that'd be fun. I don't, probably lacrosse.
Yeah.
Or soccer.
Yeah.
Wherever I can get out there and play.
Do you still feel like you got it in you? Are you a delusional athlete like me who is like, I think that I am 15 years younger than I actually am, and that I could still move the way that I used to.
Yeah.
I rolled my ankle walking up the stairs 2 days ago.
Even just getting out there and like kicking the soccer ball with your kids or throwing the lacrosse ball, it's still just like that's love right there, right? Like it's just the best. I don't know if I could like go out there and juke anybody out anymore, but
yeah, but that's not the point. That's not the point. I'm here to show you what goes where, how to do stuff. Coaching is awesome, man. Coaching is awesome. Is that what was your dream job growing up? Some people want to grow up to be a doctor, a lawyer, police officer.
I never had that.
Really?
No, I always knew I wanted to have a family. I think that was more of like that was what I 100% knew that I wanted to do. But as far as like career path goes, I don't know. I probably wouldn't have said what I'm doing now, but I love what I'm doing now.
Yeah. It is cool. What's the next 5 years look like? What do you hope it looks like for you professionally?
I think that we're trying to grow our branch. So, get more young talent in there.
Yeah.
And hopefully fill up our office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about, well, do you have any numbers on how many women are in the lending space?
I don't have them. No.
And it's not many. Do you feel like an obligation to, bring the heat for the rest of the ladies?
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Definitely a girl's girl.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
Yeah. I love it. And there are not a lot of women in the industry.
Do you have anybody that you mentor?
I have a girl that I really look up to. She works for our company and she's basically our company's #1 originator every year. She's up there. She's a badass and I just like everything that she does and I stand for and I look up to her like on a, daily basis. I think she's great.
Yeah. What's a badass to you?
Just someone that just has it all together and does good work.
Yeah.
Honest, just does it right every single time.
Honest, knows what they're doing, gets it done, doesn't wait to the 11th hour to do stuff. They do it when it needs to get done. That's cool, man. Yeah. That's cool. Would you like to mentor others in that space?
Yeah, I am, cause I do help with, running the office. And we have a younger girl that works for us now and I think she's got great potential. She'll be great.
If you were to sit down and have coffee with somebody, dead or alive, who are you picking?
That's a hard question.
It is a hard one. You can use it however you want. There's a lot of ways you could take it. I don't know that I would have an answer for it, but we could do a Mount Rushmore. But if you don't know, that's okay. What about, do you have a book or a podcast or a movie that you feel like any entrepreneur or somebody should watch?
Yeah, we just did a little like boot camp in our office with all of the loan officers. And we read a book and it was a book that had come like really highly recommended to me. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. Yeah. And I just think that that book like hits home for so many people on so many different levels. And there's so many fun stories in it. But it's one of those ones that you can always kind of like flip back to and be like, I can relate to that.
It's a pretty easy read too. Mm-hmm. It's nice.
Yeah. I like that book. That's a good one.
A good one. Let me see. What else is in here? Sorry. My eyes are terrible without my glasses. I can't see shit.
Boom.
Closing. All right. Any other final takeaways before I let you jump?
I think that just like looking at your younger self, just be as confident as you always, as possible. And just treat everybody nice. Not just for the world, but just especially when you're thinking about your career and what you're doing, and you never know who you're going to come in contact with. Just get out there, be yourself, be authentic, make sure people know what you do. They got to know you, they got to like you, and then they got to trust you ultimately. Well, so I think anybody in sales kind of can relate to that mentality.
Speaking of, where can the audience find you on socials?
Yeah, I have Instagram, I have Facebook, Loans by Lynlea.
Woo! Get it, girl. Perfect. Well, I'll put that stuff in the show sheet after this, so guys, take a look out for that. Whether you're buying a home, partnering on deals, want a lender who actually listens, Lynlea's your girl. Give her a shot. All right.
Got you.
Lynlea, thank you for joining me. I've loved it, and this will not be the last time. If you want to come back.
I loved it too. I think it's so fun.
Perfect. Good. Well, thank you again, and appreciate you coming on Dealmakers. Peace out, everybody. Look at that, bud.
How'd we do?
Good. That's good. It's like